All right, let's talk about software. It's quietly reshaping pretty much everything, right? So today, we're going on a guided tour of the 10 biggest trends that are going to define what's possible by 2025. Let's dive right in.
Okay, first up, let's just wrap our heads around the sheer scale we're talking about. By 2025, the global army of software developers is expected to hit 30 million. Now, that's not just a number, it's a massive signal of the growing demand for digital everything in every part of our lives.
So how are all these people going to be working? Well, by 2025, we're expecting that over 80% of development teams will be using AI tools as a core part of their workflow. It's like having a co-pilot right there with you as you code. And this isn't some far-off idea, it's quickly becoming the standard.
But, with all this growth comes a pretty big risk. $10 trillion. That's the estimated global cost of cybercrime in 2025. It's a staggering figure, and it's a huge reminder of why building secure, tough software is more critical than ever. This really sets the stage for the trends we're about to jump into.
So here's the game plan for our tour today. First, we'll hit the core shifts that are changing the fundamentals. Then, we'll get into the architectural revolution, how and where software gets built. After that, we'll explore the new frontiers pushing the boundaries. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the big takeaway for 2025.
All right, let's kick things off with part one. We're diving into 3 trends that are totally changing the game: what software can do, who gets to build it, and of course, how we keep it all safe.
And our first big shift is, you guessed it, artificial intelligence and machine learning. For so long, this felt like something out of a sci-fi movie. Well, not anymore. It's here, and it's real. AI and ML are becoming the brains behind the whole next generation of software. And believe me, the momentum is it's undeniable. The market is absolutely exploding. AI is powering everything from customer service chatbots to analytics that can predict when a machine is about to fail. This stuff isn't just a cool feature anymore. It's literally becoming the new foundation. Next up, a trend that's all got opening the doors for everyone. Low-code and no-code platforms are giving people who aren't traditional programmers the power to build their own apps just by using simple visual interfaces.
And the impact this has on getting things done? It's huge. A whopping 72% of users say they can create apps twice as fast. And, maybe even more important, 80% say it frees up the pro developers to tackle the really complex problems. Seriously, it's a win-win for everybody.
Okay, remember that wild $10 trillion number we saw earlier? Well, it's no surprise that security is a massive, massive trend. But the approach is what's really changing. We're moving away from bolting security on at the end. Instead, we're building it in from the very first line of code. This whole idea? That's what we call DevSecOps.
What this really means is that security isn't this separate final step anymore. It's baked in, automatically, at every single stage of the process. By scanning for problems early and often, while you're planning, coding, and building, teams can catch and fix issues way before the software ever gets out the door. It just makes everything so much more secure.
Okay, so we've talked about what's changing. Now for part 2, let's shift gears and look at where and how all this modern software is actually getting built and run. This leads us straight to cloud-native development. Now, this doesn't just mean you're running your app on some cloud server somewhere. No. It's way deeper than that. It's about designing and building applications specifically for the cloud, so you can take full advantage of all its power, the scalability, the resilience, the speed. And the real hero of this story is a technology called the container. Think of it this way. Old-school virtual machines were like building a whole new house for every app. Containers are more like packing a perfect little suitcase. They're super lightweight, fast, and they bundle up an app with everything it needs so it can run perfectly anywhere. And it's not just the software architecture that's changing. It's the architecture of our teams, too. The whole remote work revolution has just exploded thanks to all these cloud-based tools. It means companies can now hire the best people from anywhere in the world. And get this, studies even show it can boost productivity by up to 47%. This new way of building things is also completely changing connectivity. The Internet of Things, that giant, ever-growing network of connected devices, everything from your smartwatch to massive sensors in a factory, is getting a major upgrade. With super-fast 5G and AI built right in, these devices are becoming way smarter and faster than we ever thought possible. All right, it's time for our final section. These are the trends that are really pushing the envelope, changing everything from who owns our data to how we experience technology every day. This last batch covers a ton of ground, so let's do a quick fire round on the highlights. Number 7, blockchain is paving the way for a more decentralized web. They call it Web 3.0, where you control your own data. Number 8, user experience, or UX. It's not optional anymore. A great design can boost conversions by a crazy 400%. Number 9, Agile delivery. This fast, flexible way of working is now used by pretty much everyone, 95% of software teams. And finally, number 10, edge computing. This is about processing data right where it's created, which is crucial for things that need instant decisions like self-driving cars. Phew, okay. We just flew through 10 massive trends. So, what does it all mean when you put it together? Let's connect the dots and get to the big takeaway. So when you kind of zoom out and look at the big picture, you start to see 4 major themes popping up. First, software is getting way smarter with AI, and at the same time, it's getting more accessible to everyone with low code. Second, security is finally being woven into the fabric of development, not just tacked on at the end. Third, our apps don't live in one place anymore. They're spread out across the cloud and all these little edge devices. And finally, the ultimate goal is shifting. It's all about creating amazing user experiences and giving people more control over their own data.
I think the most important thing to remember is that none of these trends are happening in a vacuum. They're all connected. They're forces that are working together to create digital experiences that are smarter, safer, and much more focused on you, the user. So the question I want to leave you with is this. From the apps on your phone to the systems that run our cities, how are these powerful shifts going to reshape your world?